What's up, and welcome to episode 83 of How Not to Summon a Podcast. I'm Shinny Senpai, and this week I'm joined by the only man tighter than Asiel, Jim.
Yeah, I ain't spending money on shit.
That's not what you meant, mate.
And that guy whose car needs more repairs than Sadal's bike, Grayson.
It's just I feel attacked right now.
So does your car every single fucking day.
I refuse to let it fucking die.
And this week we are finishing the anime The Devil is a Part-Timer with episode 7 to 13. So jumping in where we left off with Susanoo, the female character that we saw. She fell down the stairs and she fainted in Sadal's arms. So it opens with her again, and we find out that she has now become their next door neighbour. I was under the impression they lived on the top story of this studio apartment. Does their apartment grow in size throughout this show? Because
I thought there were two
all
apartments.
of a sudden there's a high landing and multiple doors off the landing later on.
Yeah, I thought they had the entire floor.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
Because that's a tiny
but then
fucking
they
building.
did
But
say,
now it's got bigger.
But they did say it's only
It's
a
a
one-room
TARDIS.
apartment. I thought.
Well, now there's multiple doors coming off of the apartment. We also see Emmy has been gifted Celestial Force in a bottle. So her friends are bottling Celestial Force and sending it to her through a gate.
That
so
must be a
she
different
can-
type of Mountain Dew.
So she can drink it, and she's only allowed to drink it twice a day because there's such a thing as too much
I thought that was
celestial
an energy
power.
drink. I honestly thought that was like some weird Red Bull.
It's like a healing
originated
potion
in
from
Asia.
D&D.
It's a
If you
mana
drink too
potion.
much of it, you die.
Too much healing potion?
Yeah, it can kill you.
Nah, fuck that.
You shouldn't be fucking healing potions.
Why not? Going in raw, coming out pure.
Said the vicar.
The disappointment on Jim's face.
Emmy, upon finding out about this new girl, Susanoo, she decides that she's going to do a bit of investigating as to who this girl is, because she's come up out of nowhere and has already sort of adopted the role of mothering Sadal and the rest of the group.
So we knew she wasn't who she said she was anyway, didn't we?
Yeah. Because we saw her
Yeah,
previously.
If they've
in
got coloured hair in this fucking show, you know that they're not human.
They're up to
That's a
something.
rule of thumb for this entire show.
They make an aeroplane joke in this episode, by the way.
They do.
They
Surely.
They make the Shirley joke.
They do indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Lucifer,
hear it as well.
is it Lucifer, that
Lucifer,
does it?
yeah.
Yeah, Lucifer makes the Shirley
It's like,
joke.
get the ginger from the fridge. And he says no.
Surely we're out.
Get the ginger from the
Is that
fridge.
what he said?
No.
that is, it
He
is when he
says-
gets the ginger from the fridge, right?
Surely you can't be doing that. I can do that, and don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the joke was.
Look, he analyses those things.
Yeah.
He should know.
I've watched Airplane like 16 times.
That's a very specific number.
16.
16.
He's got a board at home where every time he watches it again, a little mark goes on. So Sadal has now become the assistant manager at McDonald's. Still part-time, even though he's the assistant manager, I guess, because there's no reference to him going full-time.
I guess you don't need to be there when the manager's there.
Is that how assistant manager works?
I thought
It's
the whole
not, is
point
it?
of like somebody was just to like.
No, it like you get
Cover the
normally get
curtains.
store manager, then the assistant store manager, and then you get all the duty managers.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
that's
team
probably what
leaders,
he
right?
is, right?
No,
He's
he's
the assistant manager.
assistant manager. He's second from the top. He references the fact that he's second from the top.
Yeah,
When
but
the
doesn't,
manager's
Climbing
out,
that demonic
I'm in
chain.
charge.
doesn't he also reference though that he doesn't want to go full time?
No,
I thought
he
he-
says he wants to.
Oh,
He says
right.
one
I
day
thought-
I'll go full-time.
He constantly says it.
Emmy, after investigating Susanoo, she gets a bit sus about her behaviour around Sadal and pulls her to one side and is like, do you like Sadal? Obviously, she means it in a romantic way, which there's some wires crossed, which we'll see in a little while. Susanoo says she does. So at this point, we're under the impression that Susanoo is crushing on him like Chiho does.
Yes.
Although we did see
Yeah.
her earlier working for the Inquisition, so maybe there is doubt there.
Yeah, mine was a bit like I don't believe what you're saying because of what I've seen.
But then she makes him the lunch in the next scene. And like a really fancy bento box, and then that at that point I was like, oh, maybe she does like him.
Yeah,
maybe she is crushing on him. She's made him lunch, and if you hated
I thought
somebody,
she
why
was.
would you make them
It was
lunch?
a very good misdirect. Very good misdirect.
Although, is that her trying to poison them? Because she makes Asiel ill.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? I
Yeah.
thought this as well.
That is her, because Sadao mentions it later on when he's having a word with her. He's like, you made Asiel ill
Have a word,
on
mate.
purpose. What? Have a word.
It just sounded really British. For some reason, I just pictured it very British.
What, have a word?
Have a word, mate. Go on. For fuck's sake, have a word. You
She's
made
out
my
of
mate
line.
ill.
She's out of line, have a word.
You made my mate ill.
Can't be poisoning
Out of line,
people.
have a word, mate.
Can't be poisoning people.
Just a slap on the wrist over here, you see.
Well, that's actually what they give her in the end, but that's by the by.
Emmy gets feedback from Inter Isla that everything's quiet. Nobody's attacking anybody. Everybody's sort of sitting there because she thinks that something's up when she sees Susanoo, and she asks about Inter Isla, and they're like, no, nothing's happening over here. Nobody's attacking anybody at the minute, and it's very quiet. It's like the calm before the storm. Chiho also finds out that Susanoo is now about, and you get the comical, normal reaction of jealousy from her, thinking that she's got another love rival in the show, which I guess later on she does. Like, Susanoo becomes a love rival as well,
Yes.
would be the assumption.
I thought she was in this one. Like the way that it was acted out. was
Well,
that
no,
she was
because
a love
obviously
rival
she
to
hates
her.
him and then tries to kill him, but then is
No,
like...
but I mean, like
no.
in this one, Chizuru and
Isn't
her,
that how we
like,
all
had
fall in
this-
love?
Huh?
Isn't that how we all fall in love? You hate them, you try to kill them, you like them a bit. No? Okay.
Not quite.
No?
He looked at you really sus.
He does hate me.
I don't hate you, I just don't hug you.
We cut to Emmy,
There's
who...
hatred on my
Everyone else on the planet can have a hug, just not you.
No, no. It's a disgraceful audience, to be honest.
It's genuinely true, I've never hugged you.
Once.
No, you've hugged me.
No, you were asleep. You don't understand. You had no choice.
Got a scooch right in here.
So we cut to Emmy, who she comes out of a convenience store, and she's attacked by some random masked guy with a scythe.
Does this guy just run into a fucking door, by the way?
Yes.
He certainly does, doesn't
Yes,
he?
was it because it's a pool door?
Oh, I thought it was
No,
because
he,
it was
he
an
flies
auto
at
door.
it in the intention to attack her, and it's a pull door, so he smashes straight into it.
He'd still smash into it. Have you ever
Yeah.
ran at a push door? It doesn't open instantly. You hit it first, and then
No, but this guy literally
fucking hurts.
like
Splats.
fucking splats up against it.
Look, it's a comedy, okay?
Let me tell you, it was a stretch at a comedy in the first 6 episodes, and it's fucking absolutely not for the next fucking 7.
Well, the store clerk comes to save the day because she can't defeat Scythe Guy because for some reason he can cancel her celestial abilities, and the store clerk comes out and hucks a slushy at him, and he runs away.
Well, I've been hit with words.
You
Well,
soiled
I
my cloak. You soiled my cloak.
Well, I never. I will get out of here. You'll rule the day that you ruined my clothes.
Just say you rule the day.
The
I
rule
said
of the
rule
day.
the day.
Rue.
Rule.
Rue. Not rule.
You rule the day.
I thought a roux was like a nice soup thing that you put over a meal.
What's he on
You have a
about?
nice roux over a meal.
What?
Do you mean a row?
Audience here, back me up, right? You put a roux over a meal as like a sauce. Like a chicken in a
No, I
white
call it
sauce
ketchup,
roux.
mate.
Chicken in a white sauce roux or something like that.
If this was a cartoon, there was nothing but blinking noises then. What the fuck are you talking about?
You don't know. It's a brew.
It's a room. You don't get it.
Get your phone
Hey,
down.
Siri.
Put your phone down. A character
Hey,
from
Siri.
the Winnie the Pooh book series.
What's a roux?
Roux is flour and fat cooked together and used to thicken sauces. Roux is typically made from equal parts of flour and fat by weight.
To thicken sauces, so not to put on top of a dish.
Yeah, it's like a sauce. It's like a basic.
No, it's used to thicken
It's
sauce.
used to thicken sauce.
All right, enough of you.
You're not
Siri.
putting. What was that? Was that flour? You're not just putting flour on a fish and calling it a day, are you?
Lovely bit of roux.
What the fuck is fish and chips then? If not just a bit of flour on top
Breadcrumbs
of
and bad.
You do not put breadcrumbs on a fish and chips.
Yeah, you do.
Fuck off.
Fucking good fish.
No,
and chips.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Not in my household.
How very fucking dare you.
Not in this neighbourhood.
Charles gets a load of this fellow.
Didn't even know what fucking roux was.
Go get Jeeves from the kitchen. Go. He'll have a good laugh at
Tell him
this.
to fetch the roux.
Tell him to leave the fucking breadcrumbs.
So the episode
Fucking
ends.
Hansel and Gretel over there, following your breadcrumbs.
The episode ends with Chiho calling up Emmy, saying how she's worried that she's now got another like love rival to compete with. And we go into episode 8. Episode 8 opens with Chiho and Emmy doing a bit of reconnaissance on Susanoo. They want to know what she's up to and why she's so involved very quickly in a short amount of time in all of Sadao's life.
Was it not given?
She's such a pervert, right?
Which one?
Fucking
Chiho?
no, not Chio.
Small tits.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
That's what they call her throughout the show. I don't remember her name. Sir.
No, it's not Susanoo. It's I want to say Rue, but no.
Yes, I remember
Fucking,
that character.
Emmy.
Yeah, Amelia. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Emmy.
Amelia.
Yeah.
Like, with her, she's such a fucking pervert. She's always hanging around fucking street corners, like, spying on him.
It's because she's sus of Sadao.
It's a bit weird. She's supposed to be the hero of this story.
Is she?
Is she?
Well, technically, yes. In
Only,
name,
I think
only,
the
I was
ir-
going to say, only in title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
entitled.
the irony is that she's got the title of hero, but she's
she's-
not.
The
Yeah.
least heroic.
She is an anti-hero in on Earth, I would say. She's not a villain, but she's not the hero. She helps, but hinders at the same time.
most of the time she hinders. I've only seen her help twice.
So when Chiho gets to the apartment, she opens the door and straight away she finds out that Susanoo uses Sadao's first name. So they're on a first name basis, which throws her off again, makes her jealous. And he also then tells Susanoo to come and work for McDonald's as well, because she doesn't have a job at the minute. And again, this upsets Chiho. There's jealousy-heavy moments in these episodes. Emmy is asked then to take Susanoo shopping because Susanoo's whole wardrobe consists of kimonos and traditional garments and things like that. And that doesn't even change after the shopping trip either. Because she's asked to take her shopping, but then she never actually does take her shopping, does she? She sets her off on her own and goes to work.
Yeah, she does. Also, they haven't realised that she's from Inte Isla yet, have they? Because
The only
conversation...
Do you not?
The only person,
you know what?
person who knows she's from Inte Isla is Sadao. Because
I
he
was about-
references it later on that he knew all along
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. But, like, at this point, like, Emmy has no clue.
No.
How,
And
how,
I don't understand how
how?
you haven't got a clue.
How?
Like, she
Well,
has
she
no
plays
idea.
it that she's a girl from the country that
Country?
lives in a traditional village that is far from anything else, which is a reasonable thing to say in Japan because there are, obviously, they're dying out, unfortunately for them, but there are rural areas in Japan that are like stepping back in time.
Is that?
Yes.
Yes, I've been to Somerset.
That's Cornwall.
It's a rural
Or
area.
Hull.
What's wrong with Old City?
Hull.
Oh.
Sorry.
What the fuck is wrong with Old City?
Like they said, it's like stepping back in time.
Yeah. And there was nothing wrong with
So's
1978. It was a good era for disco.
So is Grimsby.
I love the fact that he
Fuck
says
Grimsby. No,
1978.
fuck Grimsby.
Grimsby
Fuck
Brothers.
Grimsby. They're ruining the fishing trade for everyone in fucking England. That's why the fish are so expensive on
Why
your
I'm
fish and chips.
so concerned.
Fuck Grimsby.
Don't you start. You were talking about breaded fish and chips. I'm not having that.
Yeah. Knock it till you try it, mate.
No, I've tried it, and it tastes
I
like
think
shit.
the expressions
compared
don't
to-
knock it till you try it.
No, he said knock it. till
Yeah,
you
so
try it.
keep slandering it until you
Keep going.
Full
Keep
on
going.
slander.
The next bit we get
Fuck Grimsby.
in every anime we watch. Really, there's a heart-to-heart moment between Sadao as he walks Chiho home, and do you know what? Surprisingly, she's super open about how she feels for him, which you don't normally get. You know, normally you'd have this character who mumbles and bumbles their way, but never really expresses how they feel. But Chiho is on it. She's honest and open about how much she likes him.
To be fair, Amelia does the same thing.
It's one of those things I actually enjoy about
Does she?
this.
Constantly tells him, like, he's nice. Yeah, I fucking hate him, though.
Yes, she cancels
Constantly.
it. Tries to cancel it out.
Yeah, she's honest.
But that is one of the things I actually like about this anime. That the relationships are very already out in the open.
Yes, they are. There's not apart from
They don't really mean anything, which is nice.
No, because obviously Sadao is not.
Finally, it's nice.
Well, Sadao has the whole thing of, yeah, this is really nice that you like me, but I'm the fucking devil. That's basically it,
Now,
isn't it?
to be fair, you do the same thing.
What if you're the devil?
If you're the devil, but that's really nice, love, but I'm the devil.
Would you,
Yeah.
Genie?
What?
You saw that.
What? I just broke my devil goatee.
Unless you're going to call me Devil Daddy, you can fuck off.
Devil daddy.
Daddy.
None of that's staying in.
Of course it is.
Susanoo happens to overhear the conversation between Sadao and Chiho, and Chiho gets embarrassed. She grabs the bike and she bikes off at high speed. I did write the bike's name down.
I tried
Galahad.
to...
No, it's Doulahan.
Doulahan was so close.
How did you get Galahad? It's one of the Knights of the Round Table, Galahad.
I went with an old sounding name.
Doulahan.
Doulahan.
She grabs Doulahan and bikes off.
Second favourite character, that.
What, the bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed
I love the
that.
fact it's not got saddles, it's not one of those types of steeds.
I would give you a lift on the back, but that's illegal.
As Sadao's walking back with Emmy and Susanoo finally turns around. She's had enough. And she confesses to them that she arrives through the gate. She's from Inter Isla. And she openly said, like, he's evil. And, you know, I'm here to kill him. She tells Emmy, I'm here to kill him. It's not that I like him. You misunderstood me. I thought you said when you said,
I knife him.
are you after him? Yes, I'm after him to kill him, not after him that I like him.
Do you think
And
that
when
was
she
lost in
said-
translation, that one?
Yeah, because she says to him, stay away, doesn't she?
Well,
Be
she
careful.
says, yeah, she says to Emmy, she apologizes to Emmy about Olba, the priest guy. She's like, that should never have happened. I don't know why he turned to Lucifer and they chose to work together. I still work for the church and the Inquisition, and the church still wants to kill Sadao, and they think that you're working with him. I know you're not from what I've witnessed. Now just help me kill him.
This is kind of a bit of a call out to her, isn't it now? It's like, your job is to kill this guy,
Yes.
but you're not.
From an outsider, if you worked for the church, you'd be very confused about what the hero is doing right now and the actions.
Oh, 100%.
Especially if you've jumped through a gate and you're witnessing firsthand that they get on
Yeah,
in
they're
a
chatting.
weird relationship kind of way of love-hate or hate or whatever it is.
He doesn't hate her.
No, he doesn't. No,
He doesn't even like acknowledge her.
tolerates her.
There.
Tolerates.
But they have an odd relationship, and you're like, that's the hero.
But
That's
she's doing the
Satan.
right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Emmy is. She's using her own judgment at the time, saying this, and that's what she says
I'll
to
kill
Susanoo.
you when you become a threat.
Yeah,
Right now, though, you're chill as fuck. Don't worry about it.
but she's
Go
also.
make your fucking burgers.
I think Emmy's conflicted in her feelings about him because of how he is now as
I
well.
don't think it would be. I don't think you would be if your dad's been killed by his blooming armies and that.
But they
your
do
thing
mention
would
later
be-
on that I think one of them says it to Susanoo later on. We'll come back to it. I'm sure we will, but I'll bring it up now. Is that they said, did you ever meet him when he was conquering
Yeah.
the world? When he was conquering Inter Isla? Did you actually see him? Did anybody ever have a conversation with him? Because if you didn't, maybe he's not as bad as you think.
Yeah, I said this as well. Though.
And that is a conflicting interest, because it's like this guy sent out orders. But what were the orders? Did he order them to take over Inter Isla by any means, thinking that he could just roll over and not actually kill everyone? That's the question.
I think I said it in the last episode. I feel like I haven't seen season 2.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen of this season, I feel like his actions were that he wanted to rule them, but his orders got misinterpreted, and in the end he was like, "Oh, I don't really want to get into
Yeah,
this.
like
I'm
a
gonna
bit of
fuck
a
off."
telephone game type thing.
Yeah, and I think he was like, "I'll actually fuck off." I think
My generals have gone a bit too far.
you've seen
and
Overlord,
now
right?
we're in the shit.
You've
Except
seen
for that
Overlord.
one guy, you're chill.
The Overlord
Yeah.
guy who says something, and they're like, "I understand your orders perfectly, sire." He wants to rule the world, and he's like, "I didn't ever say that." What?
Yeah.
And then he has to play it off like, "Of course, you knew what I was thinking." To be like the fucking
So
badass guy.
they get it right in that fact, and that I think is why Emmy is so confused about what she's seeing.
But I still think you would have killed him.
I have no doubt that he was the monster that everyone makes him out to be.
You think he was?
Yeah, I have no
Do
doubt.
you?
I mean, he does when
I mean, this show puts him as the literal devil.
yeah, and when he's called out by Emmy, he says all I can say is sorry for what happened and that I didn't understand humans before meeting them. So
And he's been here over a year,
My
by
bad.
the way. Hey, he's been over a year here
Yes.
already, by
Yeah.
the way, because it gets mentioned at one point
Yeah.
that he's been here over a year. So he spent a lot of time.
it was a year for him to get promoted to assistant manager. Yeah.
He's been around them for quite a while now.
So ultimately, Emmy turns around to Susanoo and is like, "No, I'm not helping you kill him. From what I've seen so far, he poses no threat, and I don't feel like it's the right thing to do right now." She's making her own judgment call. We'll quickly cut to the biggest drama of all, the battle between McDonald's and SFC, the new fried chicken place.
Didn't we talk about
Kentucky.
this?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, yes.
Didn't we talk about this last week? And we didn't even know this was coming
Yes.
up, by the way. We talked about KFC versus McDonald's.
Yes.
And now we get
Yeah.
that whole thing in this.
And
They
that's what
couldn't
it
come
is.
up with anything else except Senfucky or whatever the fuck it is.
Kentucky.
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 Senfucky.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. So his McDonald's, sorry. His McDonald's. Oh no, we're gonna,
We've
we've
lost-
lost YouTube.
We've lost YouTube. Fuck it.
Hold on a second. Trademarked.
His
Don't
McDonald's.
come at me, Ronald.
His McDonald's is going to be dead because a new SFC has opened up opposite, and everyone loves shiny new things, so they're going to go there instead of to his McDonald's. Not that that would be the only SFC in the whole of fucking Tokyo, but
Unless it is a spin off of the regular one in this universe.
yeah, good imagine. The manager of SFC comes to see him. Clearly, the
Bad
fucking
guy.
side cloak guy.
Yep.
It's so fucking. He wears big sunglasses to hide the fact he has special angel eyes.
Yeah, and they also try
Hey,
and
my car has those.
they try and do like special hints as well. When he's like, "Yeah, God, that guy stank of cologne," and then she was like, "Yeah, that guy stank when I fought him," and I was like, oh,
They
there
do
we
that
go.
like 4 times.
Yeah.
And, it's like,
And they're
we
also
know. We know.
Isn't it weird he wears sunglasses inside? Yeah. We just saw him shoot laser beams out of his eyes.
Frickin' laser beams.
Asiel is sent by Sadao to go and investigate SFC and get some intel on how good their food is, what offers they're doing. Just case the joint.
You're gonna rob it?
Hold on.
And the episode ends with Susanoo, Emmy, and Emmy's friend Rika going to see Sadao, and it cuts to the restaurant, and it's just dead. He's just standing behind a counter with Chiho, and there's nobody. I think there's one old lady in the corner eating a burger, and that's it.
Yeah, because they talk about the fact that that's his first shift in charge, don't
Yes,
they?
and
She's
it's
like,
dead.
"Oh, I'm going to leave you in charge of it. Try and do whatever you can."
Yes, because she's got to report the figures to corporate
And I've got
about
to tell
the
them they're
day
80%
sales.
down.
Yeah.
That's not her fault. Fuck
No.
corporate if they're going to blame that one.
Also, I love the fact that she's like, what happened to the last guy that reported this? They got sent to Greenland.
Yes, Greenland.
There's a McDonald's.
Do you
know
know? Do you know Greenland is referenced twice in this show?
Yeah.
It gets shouted out twice. There's a second time. I'll bring it up, but there's a second time. But that's the first time Greenland's
do it.
referenced, and then there's a second one.
You are not getting transferred to Greenland.
You'd do it.
You would not be able to get there.
Think of the ice hockey.
You would still not set up a house in Greenland.
It's
I
not-
still reckon
Think
you.
It's not even a country.
Wow.
It's not. It's owned.
Shit on Greenland.
It's owned by Norway.
I
thought it was
thought I
Denmark.
thought you were going to fucking go into song then. It's not even a real country anyway.
I thought it was Denmark.
Blame Greenland.
That might be Denmark. I don't know. It's one or the other.
This might be Europa Universalis coming back on me this night.
And so we go into episode 9. Episode 9 opens
What
with
does
the
that
group.
make it then if it's not a country?
It's a
Territory.
yes,
It's a land.
like the Falkland Islands and stuff like that. They're territories.
Japan.
No, that is a part of our country.
It's a
We made sure it was.
Is it like Canada?
What? We didn't make sure that was still part of our country.
we gave that
That's a
back.
territory.
We did. We just were sneaky about it.
We gave it back.
We gave it back.
Yeah,
in
under
air
stipulations.
quotes. Yeah, that it's still got the same fucking ruler.
Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah. Hey, Australia. Hey, New Zealand.
Yes, you are independent,
Hey,
Australia.
Hey, India.
It's on loan.
I mean, India, we kind of did give back.
we
Same
did.
as Hong Kong. We
didn't really
gave
have a
it back.
choice on that one, did we?
We brought them tea.
Actually, they
To
brought
be
us
fair,
tea.
they brought us
us tea. We got what we wanted from
and
them.
all the spices that we never used.
And sandals.
No, I just got them in the back. We got them in the back.
Without them, we wouldn't have sandals.
Well, I could have done without them then.
It's a bit like America, just on loan, really.
What? Sandals? Just-
We'll have it back later.
we won't.
So
We don't want that back.
we'll have it back later.
Look, we left it with you
It's
for
in the
150 years.
It's in
and
the
you
fine
fucked it.
print. I don't know if you saw this without a magnifying glass, but it says "will return"
Yeah,
when asked.
you need to rub some lemon juice on it and then heat it up.
Oh, nice. National treasure. You know they're making another one. Right, anyway.
Yeah, but it's not got fucking
Nick
Cage.
Episode 9. The group arrive at McDonald's to go to see Sadao, but they see it's dead, and they're like, this place is really busy across the street, SFC, let's go in there instead. And form a plan about how we're going to approach Sadao in a little while. That's why they go in there. And they go up and they go to order, and the manager of SFC, in his creepy mannerisms that he has, he's very creepy.
Hello, ladies.
It's Jim behind the counter. If you put him in
Can I see your
sunglasses,
feet?
if you put him in sunglasses behind a counter, people would be sus.
If you put anyone in sunglasses behind the counter, it looks
Everybody
pretty dodgy.
It would.
Imagine us standing behind those fucking checkout counters at the range
Look
with
like we're doing
sunglasses
it
on.
look like we're doing a music video.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
The worst fucking music video. The
On
comeback
treadmills. We'll be
is
on
what it
treadmills.
is.
Have you not seen that trend? Take a picture of anything; it could be an album cover. Asiel happens to be in the restaurant as well because he was casing the joint, and he happens to overhear Emmy bad mouthing Sadao, and so he can't keep quiet any longer, and he just kicks off. You take a picture of a McDonald's cup album cover.
Dropping your first album.
I will have a look.
Jim +1.
Jim Boy Slim.
Jim Boyce.
We cut to Sadao, and Sadao is conflicted by how he's going to beat SFC in this little one-day fight-off on their
SFC
opening
sounds like
day.
a fucking wrestling organisation.
Spin-off of UFC.
We cut back into the restaurant, and we see Asiel makes up on the spot a story of how he and Sadao ran a rival construction company that rivaled Amelia's construction company, to prove to Rika that Amelia's not in love with Sadao, it's just a rival battle thing.
When he made up this story, just put it in terms of them being the fucking good guys and them being the bad guys, and it's as
Emmy's the bad guy in the story.
No, but if
she
you
crushes
see
their
it,
corporation.
I think it's what he views what happened in
Into Isla.
Isla.
Oh, potentially. Yeah.
Think about it.
Actually, yeah. Yeah,
Think
I
about
didn't-
it.
I
That's
didn't even-
all I did. I took that
Yeah.
as he's thought about from their side what it looks like
Yeah.
in Isla. We're a little startup company that wanted to take over,
we had one island.
but she got all of these mega corporations together, kingdoms,
Yeah.
and crushed us. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
When I
can
saw
see
that,
the
I was
connection.
like, yeah, because you see Emmy be like, oh, for God's sake. You could see her
Yeah.
talking, like in her head, she's going through that, and she's like, is this what he really views it as?
And we also see that Rika crushes hard on Asiel as well.
Yes.
Emmy's friend has a little thing for Asiel. That's nice that Asiel's got somebody who likes him as well. That's kind of funny.
I like Asiel. He's like
You know
one of my
nothing's
favourite
going to come of
characters.
that because he's fully committed to Sadao, though. So
Yeah. But he's one of my favourite characters in this, Asiel.
yeah, well, I think we said in the first episode,
Yeah.
his relationship with Sadao is the best thing about the show. Rika and the group end up over at McRonald's, and this is when Rika turns on Sadao and is like, "You're not as great as everyone keeps making you out to be. Like, you're letting SFC like beat you. It's their opening day."
Yeah, that happens.
And she spurs him on so that he's going to try and beat SFC. So we see him try multiple things, and he just completely fails to compete with the SFC. Until finally, he comes up with the idea to bring in decorations because there's a local festival going on. So he brings in wishing trees.
Bamboo trees.
I
and
thought
then
this was
they,
a
like-
Christmas tradition.
Yeah, I thought it was for a
But
second.
he brings in bamboo trees where customers can make wishes on them, and if they make a wish on the tree, they get a free drink as well. But they have to make an order before they get the free drink, because that's what they always do. And his idea works, and he sees a massive influx of people come into McDonald's. And the episode ends with Susanoo looking over at Sadao as he's sort of celebrating the success of the day, and she just gives him this massive death stare. And we go to episode 10. Episode 10 opens with Sadao being asked to go help another McDonald's. So there's another one inside a theme park, a water park.
I thought it was right next to
It's
the
everything.
fucking swimming
So
pool.
this complex is a theme park, water park, zoo, all muddled into one.
It's Flamingo Land.
I was going to say it's Disneyland.
No, he's right, Flamingo Land.
Oh. Well, I was just thinking of like the Animal Kingdom.
And it'd gone through some sort of refurb because it was like a grand reopening day, so they knew McDonald's was going to be busy, and they were like, Sadao, you're my best employee. I want you to go over there and help them.
I don't know who decided that putting crocodiles right next to a swimming pool was a good idea.
We'll come to the Crocs. There's also a haunted house that's supposed to be super scary, so the idea is Sadao will also not only go and help at the McDonald's, but he'll gain power from the scared negative energy that people are releasing by being in the haunted house. So there's
was-
lots of magic there.
That was never his intention, though. Was
No,
it?
no, no.
This
That
guy
was
must
only
fucking
what-
love Halloween.
That was Lucifer's.
That was only
intention.
Lucifer's
Yeah.
idea, and when she's sitting next door,
Yeah, she
listening
overhears.
to
Susan
their
overhears.
conversation, she's like, "Oh no, this is the time when he's trying to get his powers back."
Yeah.
He was never trying to do that.
And just by coincidence, Emmy and Chiho are going to the theme park that day as well. Obviously, knew he was working over there, decided to go.
Yeah,
and that's when
Chiho's-
Susanoo sort of jumps in and goes, "Oh, I'm going to come with you." We cut to that day, and we see Sadao is, well, he's smashing it at the new restaurant. He's working really hard. He's clearly the best employee there, and he's enjoying his job.
Gets a little whisper in the ear from the manager. You're doing a good job.
Is that how you manage people, Jim?
No, that would
He
be.
whispers in their ears sweet nothings.
Gonna scooch right in here. You're doing a good job.
No. There's definitely some complaints being brought in if I did that.
Do you want fries with that?
Why am I doing that? I work at a supermarket. I shouldn't be saying you want fries with that.
Can I see your feet?
None of that would happen. And none of this is staying in.
Did you know it's cheaper if you get it as a meal deal?
If you get a drink with it.
Why would I be doing that? Why would I do any of that?
Sushi's half off.
Don't get half off
Go to
sushi.
cinemas on a Monday, it's half price.
I mean, yeah, fair enough, do that. Actually, it's Tuesday, isn't it?
As Asiel, we see, who was supposed to go and sort of be at the theme park as well to support Sadao. He can't because he's at home. He's really sick because he ate some of those udon noodles that they reckon were going off. But he's been sick for a while now. So
What a long play plan this was, by the way. She brought over tons of noodles when she first moved in. She was
Yes.
like, oh, these have all got to be eaten
yes.
before this certain date.
But Sadao doesn't get sick, and Lucifer doesn't get sick because they never feed him the udon noodles. They always just buy him takeaway.
Yeah, what the hell?
He's
man?
living the good life.
That guy is
He
living.
moans
like-
about it constantly.
He's just on his laptop all day eating fucking takeaway.
Yep. So the girls decide to go to the haunted house. it's a brief moment. They're in there. The haunted house is scary. They run out. There's not much to it.
I mean,
it's,
it was pretty scary.
it's
Why
fucking
would you
creepy.
have one of them at a fucking swimming pool?
The mother thing was a bit weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Then they end up at the reptile house. And Susanoo references the fact that, reptiles are really tasty. She used to eat lizards at home. Stuff
And
like
then
that. And then there's like
Emmy's scared because she was like,
she fought lizards.
yeah, she
giant
fought giant
lizards.
fucking lizards.
And Emmy happens to spin around, bumps into the maintenance guy. He drops his keys. And then a monkey from the circus part of this adventure park
Is it a circus?
fucks off. Yeah, it's a circus monkey.
Yeah,
It's a
it's-
circus tent. There's fucking clowns and all that in there.
It's fucking clowns.
There's a circus monkey. And the circus monkey...
That's fucking clowns.
Is it just the PG Tips monkey that's had enough?
The monkey manages to get into the reptile house and get hold of the dropped maintenance guy's keys
And unlock the
and
crocodile
unlock
pen.
the crocodile cage.
That's Ace Ventura.
And the monkey's also called Sadao. I like that touch. That was
Yeah,
quite
I
funny.
like that.
So yeah, the croc cage gets opened and the croc's just getting to the swimming pool with all the general public.
You missed one of the good bits
By all
with the
means.
monkey that jumps into blooming.
Her boobs.
Yeah,
Yes, he avoids Emmy because she's flat-chested and jumps into Chiho's boobs.
Now, to be fair,
that's a monkey making a nest right there.
Everybody flees from the crocodiles except Sadao, who walks straight at them. And because obviously this park is full of the negative energy from the haunted house, he's at full power.
And the fact that
And
there's negative energy from all the people running away from crocodiles.
Yes, and he tells off the crocodiles. He lines them all up and
no.
gives them a telling off and is like, go back.
Back into your pens.
Yes.
He's Steve Owen the shit out of that.
And then the episode ends with Susanoo. She's walking back from the theme park and she spots like an angel on the way home. Like a guy with angel wings. And
I didn't like the fact that it was like, oh, here comes the fucking angels.
yeah,
now.
and you cut back to the apartment. You see that Lucifer's buying some more online shopping stuff, and Asiel is still sick, and that's how it ends.
If there are angels to fight the devil, why the fuck are they breeding to make children that are half angel to do it with half the power?
Because it's not on their payroll.
That's exactly their payroll.
Not my job.
That's exactly an angel's job.
No, that's not my
Angels still got to get their fuck on.
That's my job, man.
job. Nice. Angels got to get their fuck on.
Look, if you're an angel, he's going to be a fallen angel.
That's exactly what Lucifer is.
Well, there we go, exactly. Sheeny's in the right place.
And we go into episode 11.
Where the fuck's God?
Yeah, where is he?
Because he's not doing it. You got like the every fucking
That
leader
man-
from hell.
That man is way too busy.
He's a busy boy.
Doing what?
Looking after creation.
No, he's not. He's
Yes.
sitting on his ass.
Yes.
He's watching
Look,
a documentary
He
on
did 7 days of
Scientology.
fucking work.
No,
and after
no,
that-
no.
6 days
yeah.
of work,
He
and he
rested on
rested on the
Sunday.
7th.
Oh, sorry.
He rested on Sunday.
Lazy fucker.
Honestly.
Didn't even do a full week's work.
He did 6 days.
Yeah, and that's it for the rest
You
of
do
fucking
a
eternity.
3-day week. Don't come in here saying
Yeah.
God's not doing enough work.
And I could have done twice as
All right.
much work in those 3 days.
He needs his downtime. He needs to turn the fucking TV on.
I could have made night and day on the same day.
He could have, but he didn't.
Right.
It's because
turn
it took
a
him a day to
light
go.
switch.
It's a bit dark.
Well, yeah, he had
Put a light switch on
he
and
had
off.
to come up with the idea for the light switch.
He had to create the sun.
Yeah, and then he had to explain how it goes on and off again.
No, you don't just click your fingers and the sun appears.
Yeah, I bet he did. He's like, oh, fuck, forgot. There. Universe.
Did he
There,
just mould it?
their universe.
There, universe, Big Bang.
5th day. That's when he did that.
Oh, that's the universe.
He procrastinated for 4 days.
Yeah.
It looks a bit dry down there, but put some water on there.
Yeah,
Why are you spunking on the earth?
that's how the oceans are made.
Nice.
That's where fish come from.
That's where the sperm whale comes from.
That's why it's so salty.
Oh, for God's sake. Nice.
What the fuck's the Red Sea then?
That was a bad day.
Cut into a back.
That's why it was 6 days.
Himself shaving his balls.
Mrs. God.
Mrs. God. Oh, that's wrong on so many levels.
What? There's a Mr. and Mrs.
I
God.
thought you were going to be like that was her time of the month that day.
No,
That's where I thought you were going with that.
That's what I thought. The Red Sea did flow.
when Mummy and Daddy love each other very much, they make a universe
Anyway,
God doesn't have a gender.
episode
you know of.
episode 11
Could be a
opens with
freaking lizard for
Listen,
all we know.
I've taken enough drugs to get close to God. All right, I fucking know.
Episode 11 opens with Asiel still ill. So he's been ill for 4 episodes so far, I
Yeah.
think.
He was ill in the first 6 as well,
Yeah.
for like a couple as well, wasn't he?
So he's still ill. And the landlady has now asked to Sadao to sell some items. She's in Hawaii at the minute on holiday, and she's bought a lot of stuff, and she wants it sold at the local car boot sale.
Did we like the whole bra bit though, where they were like, "Please tell me these have not been used"?
We see Susanoo sitting in a park, and she's having a conversation with the Death Scythe angel guy, clearly the SFC manager that we know. And we find out a bit of backstory about Susanoo. She was the Inquisition's assassin. She would go around and kill people for the Inquisition, for the church, who were in the way.
I didn't like this character after this. I
You
saw
didn't
a lot of
like her?
yeah. I didn't like her. I'd seen a lot that she was forgiven for literally.
It looks like throughout the time that she was assassinating people, she was questioning the church's actions constantly, but still going through with orders.
Yeah, with like the fact that she turns around to the guy on the hill after she kills like.
But
that
is she
Knights
not at
Templar
a stage that Emmy has gone beyond? Because essentially, Amelia was a character who was told she was a hero, trained to be a hero, and went to fight the devil until finally she acted on her own fruition. And Susanoo is just behind her. She is still... She kind of thinks for herself, but she doesn't at the same time, like Emmy did. Until it hits her that, hold on, I do have free will here.
Emmy got lied to, right?
Yeah, Emmy got
she's
lied
supposed
to
to
a
be
lot.
the right hand of God, and she's just
Well,
not.
until
she's
we
a puppet. For
until
the
we
church.
actually genuinely know what Satan's goals were, we don't really know if she was lied to or not. Maybe he
She was.
because
She
you
was
essentially
lied.
said you thought, yeah, no, he was evil and he was trying to wipe out
yeah,
people.
which is fine.
So she wasn't lied to in that
But
sense.
why come and steal a 6-year-old to train them to fight the devil when
'Cause she's a-
angels will do it?
Because she was
There's no good
she was
reason.
conceived to fight the devil.
But why? The angel has now come to do it. That one of an army has come
But he
to
don't
do
want
it.
to.
Is it the same as Cautious Hero? You were summoned by the gods and by the church because
Well, no,
you
because
were
they're
one of
normal
the
people,
fighters.
aren't they?
Yeah,
she
but-
was conceived.
Yeah, but the whole point is the
And-
church in the background of that are fucking
The
evil.
church are the evil guys.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones, playing games
are
with
they
Lucifer.
not always though? In any anime you watch, it's the church.
Oh, you could have
always
just
has-
stopped at always, mate. To be fair, you don't have to narrow it down to anime.
The church always has
Being evil.
ulterior motives to be the one and only power.
controlling everything.
Beyond government itself and
'Cause
beyond
that's
the
what-
king of the land.
'cause
The
that's what she
church
says,
rises
isn't
above
it?
all because the church is sacred and good and pure.
Yeah, but that's why we have
they're-
anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yes. Yet their actions speak anything but purity.
Did you steal his fucking calendar this week?
No, that's the longest word in the dictionary.
So long as we're in the
Yeah,
dictionary, which is
exactly.
why everyone knows what it is. But we also, because of that, we know what it all means.
Yes.
But you also stole that from his calendar for this week. His word of the week you've stolen. Say it again for me one more time.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yep, that's
You want
never
to
been
see
said
something?
by me.
Oh,
M-I-double-S-I-double-P-I.
Do not let him do it.
I-double-S-I-double-S-I-M.
Here we go.
Can I get one more repeat of what it is?
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
There we go. Close
yeah,
enough.
close enough.
Now spell Mississippi.
So,
Mrs. Ippy.
M-I-double-S-I-double-S-I-double-P-I.
Yeah,
we go.
none of this is staying in.
so
Now say it backwards.
we cut to the studio that they are all living in, not our studio, and
To be fair, this is about outside their apartment.
and we see that it's now full of the boxes that the landlady has sent. And we also find out that Lucifer has put a tracker in Emmy's handbag to follow her.
These Apple users, I tell you. Fucking AirTags everywhere.
The landlady also was kind enough to leave food and drink behind for the group to consume under the stipulation that they all do it together. And we have moments where they're eating and drinking the food, and then it cuts to them, and they've set up the car boot thing for the festival. And we also see that Susanoo is there again, meeting with the angel guy. She has numerous conversations with him.
Is she God?
Susanoo?
No,
Who?
What,
the
she-
landlady.
No.
No, she's not God, but I don't. There's more to her, but we don't know what.
She's trying to reconcile everybody because she was like, have that food, but everybody has to eat together.
She's Jesus.
What, breaking bread?
Yeah, well, that's what she's
That,
basically
that would be
doing.
the closer... The closer party.
Trying to
She could
reconcile
be an
everybody.
angel.
Yeah, but we've already had Gabriel, which is the one that everybody knows.
And she likes...
When was Gabriel?
When was
I
Gabriel?
thought this was the
No,
fucking...
that guy's not Gabriel.
I thought he was.
No,
No, he's...
he's a different archetype. I've got his name later on.
Okay.
I did get the impression when she's having this conversation, this next meeting, that Susanoo hates what she's become. Even though she follows those orders, I genuinely believe that she hates being that lapdog for the Inquisition.
She's always looking for atonement.
She's
You can-
always
you can
she's
tell
always
from-
questioning the actions.
But when she turns around, doesn't she? And she says that I can never make up for the stuff that I have done in the name of the church.
Yeah.
So she's always looking to atone for that, and she thinks that the way to atone for that is by killing.
Yeah, so she swears
Satan.
that she will kill Sadao. You know, because he's the big bad, and
And then after that, everything will be fine, and everything will be fine, and everything will be forgotten.
so we've cut to Asiel again, and we can see that at this point his sickness has gotten 10 times worse. He's really sick now. He's moaning and groaning, and Lucifer's like, I've had enough. I'm calling you an ambulance. And he's like, no, I can't. I can't go to hospital. It'll cost way too much money for me to get any treatment. But he doesn't listen, and he does go, and he does call him an ambulance, and Asiel gets rushed off to hospital. Susanoo, in the meantime, has pulled Chiho aside and tells Chiho to stay away from Sadao.
A lot of things happen very quickly over the next couple of episodes, doesn't it? A lot of things happen very quickly.
Yeah. In these next two, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she actually says to Chiho, he's not as great as you think he is. He's evil. And Chiho's like, I know he's Satan. And Susanoo's like, but you don't understand. That day he made McRonald's busy. It wasn't because of his great idea about the festival. He used magic in those trees and those wishes to pull people in. And I was the only one who knew that he did that. So if he's capable of using magic to just achieve small goals like that, you don't know what else he's capable of.
Do we believe her?
Yes, I
believe that.
reckon he probably did use magic.
He probably
to pull him in.
did. Only because of what
But
happened.
it's
from
not
it.
exactly an act of an evil man, regardless. Hell, I'd use magic to pull people in, if that, you know.
I'll leave that alone. But what I would say is the only thing to counter that and look at from both sides of that perspective is that he has always stated that his main goal is to get to the top and
Yeah. So
Rule
why
this
not?
world.
Why not sprinkle some magic on it?
So, you know, that's one way of getting to the top. Just
A little
you know,
bit at a time.
Yeah, a little bit at a time. I mean, he has no age, does he? I think they even say that he can't age or like.
Because he's not mortal as such, is he? He's not
Yeah,
human.
he's
so
not human,
He
so
would
he's
age
got-
differently anyway. Yeah.
Well, I think she says that.
Well, he's an angel.
He is an
Essentially.
angel.
Yes.
Well, he can hang around forever,
Yeah.
basically. So he can eventually get to the top.
Absolutely. Which is the storyline behind Omen.
Is it?
Damien. Yes. He's the child who rises to power through politics.
Yeah, he becomes
In
president, doesn't he?
Yes. That's the whole point of the Omen, is that the child of Satan rises to power in the human world, and that's what causes Armageddon, I believe.
I've never seen Omen, so
Or as we call him, Putin.
that can stay in.
Come at me, Russia.
Emmy,
They will.
they will. They'll bring the Novichok.
That's a good point. Hold on.
I'll put on my best spandex suit.
Emmy doesn't believe that Sadao is bad. She overhears this conversation and she's like, I've told you once and I'll tell you again, I don't believe at this moment in time that he is a bad person. And if anything, you've witnessed it yourself. And Chiho backs her up as well and talks about the fact that they're all friends. She's like, I don't know why you would say these things and do these things. You're my friend. You're our friend. And that's when Chiho goes, Susanoo, did you ever meet Sadao on Inter Isla? So you don't actually know what he's genuinely like. And I think those words resonated with Emmy as well, who was standing there. And that hit her as well, of the fact that, no, I never actually met him. I just went to his castle and fought him straight away.
But also the retort is as valid as well, isn't it?
They're
Well,
both valid. He
yeah.
killed her parents and essentially
No, but I
ordered
mean,
this
like,
onslaught.
The whole thing of where she turns around and says that, oh, just because he didn't do it, he told others to do it. Or he gave orders to others which led to the things that happened.
Yes, yeah,
So
absolutely.
basically, it's still his fault. Which is true, if that is what happened.
So Emmy once again refuses to help Susanoo, and she walks away. This is when Chiho and Emmy are attacked once again by the scythe guy who turns up. And he reveals finally that he is the SFC manager. Not that it was any surprise anyway. And he has the ability to use his gaze to subdue Celestial Force, but only Celestial
strong
Force.
gaze, aren't they?
Isn't it weird that an angel doesn't have the power to subdue demonic force, but can only subdue what is essentially his own power, Celestial Force?
Well, I guess it's to keep all those angel babies in check.
Well, possibly, yeah. He could be like an MP for the angels.
Yeah, he could.
If you're handing out you have no idea what the human upbringing will do to a person.
Yeah.
If they're not going to fight the good fight, you can just go, well, you've got no powers. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, fair. Yeah.
That's exactly what Zeus did to his children, wasn't it?
Yes, he did.
No, Hercules.
And the rest of them, yeah.
Because Hercules was stolen from Zeus by Hades. Susanoo is asked by Chiho to help, and she refuses, and she puts Chiho to sleep, and is like, you're better off being asleep for all of this, so you don't get involved, although she gets heavily involved. Sadao gets a phone call from Chiho's mum saying that Chiho hasn't come home. He's then told by Lucifer that, because Lucifer did some digging into the SFC manager, and he's like, there's no records of him. Like, he's not a person. And then finally, he's like, have you still got that tracker on Emmy? Where is she?
And she's like flying through fucking buildings and
Yeah.
shit on it.
And the episode ends with us seeing Asiel in the hospital, and we see the priest Olba in the hospital, and suddenly Olba wakes. And we go into episode 12.
A lot of things happen there.
Yes.
Very quickly.
It's
Did
do-
you not think?
We had 3 episodes of barely anything, and then
Well,
a
the
very
first
heavy
6
one.
is kind of
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah.
We get the first 1, which gives us a great amount of backstory that we need, and introduces us to these characters, and then the next 5 are really just slice of life stuff.
But also slow build up of characters as well.
There is. Episode 11 and 12 was the only sort of action-packed that we got throughout, really, 12 episodes.
I mean, we got the
loop.
Lucifer episode, but that
Still
was
wasn't
more
It was
of a...
best
very
fight.
anticlimactic, though.
Yes.
The best fight was against Lucifer.
Yes, it was.
That was the better fight out of the 2.
Yes, it was, yeah.
That fucking teleport where he sends him in his face.
Yeah.
That's genuinely scary stuff when you watch that.
Yeah. So episode 12 opens with Asiel in the hospital, and he wakes up and he speaks to the nurse briefly about the cost of the medicine, and she's like, don't worry about that now, I'm going to give you a second bag of medicine. And he's like,
No,
oh god, the
please."
cost.
And he's got his insurance card. He's
Yeah.
like, no, please.
More importantly, do you take insurance? He leaves his room, and he's walking through the hospital corridor, and he sees a police officer laying unconscious on the floor. And as he approaches him, he is suddenly attacked by Olba. He drops his insurance card on the floor, and Olba picks it up and now has ascertained their address. Archangel Sario has captured Emmy and Chiho at this point, so he's the scythe guy.
It gets
It's
real
Archangel
dark here, by the
Sario.
way.
Yeah, so basically his goal is to release the sacred sword from Emmy, because he's like, you are not worthy of having an angel's power anymore. I want to remove it from you.
So I can
and
have
What was it? God's gold or something? God's
yeah,
silver?
yeah, something like that. And he's like, if you won't give it to me, I shall take it by force. And he's torturing her.
It gets real strong. this episode.
As
I was
angels do, they torture people.
Susanoo is then sent after Sadao. And she does that huge, like, massive leap from the top of a tall building with her ginormous mallet weapon. And she smashes down. He manages to get out of the way, but unfortunately for him, she does destroy Doulahan in the process.
Doulahan, no! Also, I love the fact that he picks up a fucking broom.
No, I like the fact that he strips down to his boxers
Folds
because
his
he's like,
uniform up.
my
Yeah.
uniform. We get our first uniform free, and if I damage this, I have to pay for a new one.
It's on loan, isn't it?
It's on loan.
It's on loan, and if you damage it, then you have to pay for it.
So he strips down to his boxers because he doesn't want to ruin his uniform.
And if I can't do this, then what sort of shift manager would I be?
Yes, and he says to her that he knew who she was all along. He was like, I knew you were from Inter Isla, and that didn't change how I treated you.
He actually thought he could change her mind, didn't he?
Well, he also has no magic. She attacks him and knocks the shit out of him, and he's like, I can't fight back. I have no magic. If you want to kill me, you can kill me.
But you don't want to kill me.
You don't want to kill me.
Cut to Sario, and we get information that his power comes from the moon. So the
No, drop
closer
in your pants.
the closer to the moon he is, the more powerful he becomes.
Ah, like Elon Musk. To the moon!
I'm leaving that alone.
Good,
Leaving that alone.
good.
Eventually, Sadao basically walks away from Susanoo. He's like, I know you don't want to hurt me, and my friends up there are in trouble, so I'm going to go up there and stop that. And you should really think about what you want. And he leaves. In the meantime, Olba pays a visit to Lucifer and once again offers him a place in heaven if he helps him. He comes with the same deal again. And it looks like Lucifer's agreed to it again. While Emmy's being tortured on the roof, Sario goes to turn on Chiho, and Emmy's like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Because she is important to Sadao.
She's an employee of McRonald. That's what he said.
Yes,
That's
she
what
does,
says.
yeah. And nothing's more important to a shift manager than his employees.
And if you stand in the way of the devil, who is currently a part-time shift manager at McDonald's,
Cut to Sadao, who's slowly climbing up a staircase in his pants, and he's absolutely shattered.
the elevator. Why did it have to be out of order? I love the fact that he turns round, doesn't he, to Emmy, and says, "That's just a stupid contract." He wouldn't even believe in that. He's like, but a contract is a contract, and the devil always goes through with a contract.
And Sadao eventually gets to the roof, and he's blown about a bit by Sario. He really does mess him up. Cut to Olba. He's drinking some... How did he get Emmy's handbag? At this point, Olba's got Emmy's handbag, and he takes out one of the Celestial bottles and seems to know exactly what it is and downs Celestial power. I don't know where he got her handbag from, but he creates a spell that brings the moon closer, which increases Sario's power. However, this makes everyone around in Japan scared, which then increases Sadao's power.
Oh, hold on. Doesn't he find it via the tracker, which was in her handbag?
Oh, maybe Lucifer took him to it. But,
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Lucifer got him to increase the power of the moon, which increased everyone's fear, which increased Sadao's power.
And then
Yes.
takes the bag back.
Yes, that's what it looks like. And Asiel rises from the hospital bed again, and he's in demon form. He'll come back later. Sadao now at full power and wearing his extra durable boxers, which stayed on even though he doubled in size, attacks.
Emmy talks about that, doesn't she?
Yes,
She's
she
like,
does.
"Are you sure those boxes are going to stay on? Don't worry, they're double durable."
Lucifer then betrays Olba, takes the bag back, and I think he knocks Olba out as well in the process.
With an uppercut.
Yeah, he just punches.
And then the moon spell starts to dissipate, and so does Sario's power. And Sadao forms this. He's like, if you want a sword, I'll give you a sword. And he creates this massive demonic sword and slices down at Sario, which only knocks him into the floor a little bit, doesn't it?
And he's completely fine. Completely fine.
It's at this point, Emmy tries to say something detrimental to him, and he turns around and goes, Yeah, whatever, tiny tits. Completely throws her off. That's funny, right?
That is funny.
That came out of nowhere and it was funny.
It's the first time he's ever given sass to her.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious.
And then the episode ends with Asiel turning up and he's like, I'm ready to fight, sir. I just had to go home and get my cape.
You what?
Yes, he turned up late. And we go into episode 13.
A complete non-episode.
Right, so is there much point in talking about this episode? It was very, very
only
pointless.
Only one thing. Fucking the angel falling out of the fridge, and that's about it.
Yeah,
He's
so
supposed to have teleported him away, and he didn't.
Cesario's still
falls out of the
about,
fridge.
and now he falls in. He basically, episode 13 is him falling in love with the McRonald's boss.
Yep,
He decides he's going to stay as the manager of SFC,
that's it. That's it.
and then our group Lucifer gets swindled by a scammer with a pyramid scheme thing, and then the group get told by Emmy that because he's 18 and not 20, there's a cooling off period if he signs a contract, which means that they can get their money back. That is essentially episode 13.
Oh, and the after credits bit
Yeah, I saw the after.
where
Yes,
she hands him an umbrella, like
the love interest bit.
like he did, because
This is when they force the love bit, because they're standing in the rain
Yeah.
and she gives him the umbrella and he says thank you and she
That's the end of
smiles
the
and
episode.
blushes
and we're done.
and the episode ends. So, what did we think of season 1 of The Devil is a Part-Timer?
I'll let you go first.
Yeah. Okay. Comedy falls short. The first episode, fantastic. The next 5 episodes, hit and miss. And then after that, it drops off a fucking cliff for me. They did that thing, and I can't remember what show did it before, where they establish the type of show that it is, and then they take that away to replace it with, fuck, no, we're supposed to have an actual overarching story here, not just the devil on Earth. And then they spoon feed you that with the angel fight at the end, and it's just like, it's a bit, the pacing's well off.
I'm trying to think of the series that you're on about. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember the one
We
that
said it
you're on
about a different one where, it had nothing, it was just all character based, and then they tried to force you to have this plot in the last, 3 episodes. And this has done exactly
Is that Keijo?
No.
No, because we enjoy Keijo.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but this has done the exact same thing, where it's like, we've got a really great story here, and then we forget to tell you it until the last 2 episodes. And then we got to fucking give you it back.
I'm trying to think of
And
which
it's
one
just-
it is.
I can't remember which one it is. But if it weren't for the Lucifer and his fucking little general sidekick fucking
You
dude,
don't mean Cat Planet Cuties or something like that?
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That sounds
Yeah.
That sounds similar.
Yeah, it does make sense
But-
because at the end of Cat Planet Cuties, you get like a whole fucking military government shit going
Yeah.
on, and then
Yeah,
they try
and this
put
has
some
done
sort
the
of
same
story.
thing where it is that type of comedy show, and then they go, fuck, wait, no, people actually want the story we
Yeah.
established at the beginning. Because I liked the opening episode because of the juxtaposition with how serious the intro was, and then what the actual show was when he got to Earth.
Yeah.
That was a really good kind of, it threw you off, and it was funnier because you didn't expect it to be funny. Apart from the title, obviously, but the opening was so epic, and they used Movie Man voice, and they gave you like this Avatar intro,
Yeah, I get what you're on about.
and then they just kind of it disappears, and they do all these comedy bits, and it is like episodic rom-com stuff.
I think the comedy hits 50% of the time for me.
A little less for me.
It was half and half for me.
It hits when it's him with his friends rather
Yeah.
than him with Emmy.
Like him with his fucking sidekick and fucking his boss. That stuff, 100% of the time, no faults.
Yeah,
no
they
faults.
make you.
Even him and Lucifer,
You know,
I enjoyed
yeah.
their
You like Chiho. I like his
Yeah, I like
interactions
Chiho.
with Chiho.
Yeah.
as well. Because she's normal, straight talking, honest about her feelings, and that's a real good character trait that you don't get very often.
It's Amelia for me. That just kind of whenever they try and do something funny with her, it's just not.
Yeah. Okay.
It's because
Well,
really,
that's because
she-
they turned her into a clumsy buffoon of a character.
Yeah, instead of
With
a
that-
god killer, which is what
Yeah.
she's supposed to be.
with tons of angst.
should have been the straight guy.
yeah,
Should have been the I want to say Nick Cage, but it's not. I mean,
the Ricky Gervais kind of thing.
Well, yeah, you
the
know what
funny
I mean.
without knowing it's funny would have
Yeah.
been funnier
Yeah.
than trying to force comedy out of someone that's the right hand of God.
Yeah.
But all that said, I disagree. I really enjoyed this. I actually thought it
I
was
didn't say I
just-
didn't enjoy it.
I just
I
think
enjoyed it.
was-
It's just could have been 1,000 times better if they sorted the pacing out. And, and I think some of the jokes was a translation problem.
Yeah, potentially.
It was a fun romp for me. I didn't mind going through every single one of these episodes.
It's not one of those ones you have to take seriously
Yeah.
at all. And if you just sit down and you watch it, and perhaps if you don't analyze it too much,
I
you
think
can
that's
just
what
sit
this
there and
hoped
enjoy it.
for, is
Yeah.
It's not going to get torn apart. The
Yeah.
story is very basic, and it doesn't want to be torn apart.
Reminds
But
me of the world that God only knows. I sat down, I'll watch every single one of those episodes because it's just fun to watch those individual episodes. And I didn't mind like the slice of life stuff that we had because I actually like the character. Yeah, I like
The actual,
the interactions were fine.
the
most
actual
of the time.
behaviours of the characters, apart from Emmy, were pretty good in that sense. Like you said, obviously the art style falls short because it's very basic, especially the character design.
There's nothing individual about
no, but the
the look of
characteristics
this show.
are. That was
the
was
devil
what
and
they
everything
pushed.
else. But even then, like the whole "I'm going to be the hero" was very Kirito. Like,
Yeah,
the-
no, okay.
But I don't mind the animation. It's animation.
But
that
I think
see
that's
all
what
the
it was.
time.
It was we're going to make a very light-hearted, very easy to follow story,
And it was.
with some comedy in it. And I think that's what it is. And I think that's why it was so popular, because it wasn't trying to be this amazing anime. It was just supposed to be something fun for somebody to watch.
I'm going to say something that's going to piss you all off.
Yeah.
Space Dandy did it better. Same type of characters. Space Dandy did it better.
Same type of character. I wouldn't
Yeah.
associate them to be the same.
They're,
as well.
they're the basis
Where's
of
your straight
the
guy character holier than thou? Which one's that?
the robot QT.
No.
He was a bum, and then you got
No.
Meow. That's the bumbling sidekick.
They're all bumbling idiots in that fucking show.
They are in this.
No,
No.
Sadal is
Because
very
they're-
confident and competent at his job.
Yeah. He's very competent. He just acts like the bumbling fool.
He's not a...
Unlike Dandy, who is a bumbling fool.
But he's not. That's the point. Is he's not a bumbling fool. He gets offered the job of God at the end of season 2
Well, that's all right. This guy's already
Spoiler
got it. He
alert.
doesn't need to get offered it. He's basically
because he's
got it.
not
No,
a
he
bumbling fool. That's the point of Space Dandy. Space Dandy did comedy better than what this show did.
Wait.
1,000 times better. It's not even a competition.
We can't talk about season 2. We didn't do season 2.
Yeah, what are you on about? Like,
No, it took me a whole fucking year.
you're
but I
using
got you back
references we're
from
not
it,
allowed
didn't
to
I?
use.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, you're using
Yeah.
references. That's in
Space
season
Dandy
2.
did it better. It did it 1,000 times better.
So, if you had to change just a little thing about this show, what would you change?
The hero. The hero's the major problem for me.
Emmy.
Yeah, everything else sort of makes sense, and I get the comedy with everybody else. And genuinely, it did make me laugh from time to time. Everything with her fell short. All the other characters,
I can see that.
all the other characters were, they weren't amazing characters, but they were what they were supposed to be, funny and two-dimensional, and that's where the comedy came from.
She
But
misses character development.
I'm not even wanting-
and
they,
like
they
slice
do.
of
Try,
life.
they try to make
develop
her
her.
develop because she starts having these conflicting
Yeah,
emotions
she's
about
supposed to be
Sadao.
holier than thou, and then she goes into forgiving the devil.
Yeah, because
No,
she
but I
even
mean, like-
has that moment where she's in her head saying, "Can I forgive him?"
Yeah.
We miss the
No, I
slice
can't,
of life
surely.
stuff from her.
But, I mean, they try and
they
give
do
you
flick
it.
to her and her life from time.
Yeah,
to
that's
time.
why
Very rarely.
That's why we get her friend and her at work
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
But very rarely.
But if we had any more
Yeah, but
than that,
because it's
then
not
the
like-
show
it's-
would
the
be
show's not about
her.
her.
Yeah.
It's the devil is a part timer, not the hero is a part timer.
No, she's full time.
There's a show.
The hero is a part timer.
She kind of ruined the show because whenever she was on screen, I went, ugh.
No, fair.
Because she's not the straight man, and like you said, she should have been that. If she would have come on as a straight man, you would have got the fucking Three Ronnies type of comedy. That's what you would have got.
The scene that I feel like we really missed was the one where it's like, "I shall smite you, demon." I'm currently on my shift at the moment.
Yeah, that's what she
Like-
should have been. That she should have been the proper fucking 70s, 60s, holier than thou fucking speech giving hero, and the devil should have just been, "Can I get you a milkshake or
Would
something?"
you like some fries?
Like that's what she should have been, and she just wasn't. They tried
Like,
to
challenges him, and he's like, "I'm late for work," and spikes off.
and just runs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would have
Yeah,
liked
that's
as
what
well?
it should have been. That would have been funny as shit.
You know what I would have liked as well? Something that would have made it more interesting as well is if she also worked with him.
You know who she should have been? Gaston. She should have just been a female Gaston.
Yeah.
That would have worked so well, completely straight. I'm the hero. I'm fucking good. I'm strong. I will fucking defeat you.
Yeah.
And then just avoid a fight at all costs because he's late for work or he's got a meeting or he's got to go shopping. That would have been better as her character.
So
and if that is the only change I would make, though, because I'd change the art style because it is just basic.
Yeah, yeah.
I got
It's very run of the mill.
It's quite an
unexciting.
old anime.
Yeah.
though, so.
I got one which would be quite funny as well. She becomes his boss at fucking McDonald's.
Other way around. He becomes hers.
That like that flips between,
he becomes the shift manager to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or they both become shift managers.
No, him
At the
having
same
to
level.
order her around and her having to be
Yeah.
conflicted about that would be better.
Yeah, that would be funny.
I wouldn't mind like though it would be quite funny if they were both shift managers because
Day and night
then
shift.
you've got day and night shift or something like that, and like you've got the manager at the top.
And every time they hand over shifts, there's a fight.
Yeah, or she tries to start a fight
Yeah.
with him, and he's like,
Go home.
"Gotta go," like disappears.
But then
or,
you're
like,
going like full comedy, aren't you?
yeah,
Yeah,
but
but that's what it should have been.
Yeah, and but it didn't play to full comedy.
No, and it should have.
Not like
And
'cause
only
if
because
you
of her.
compare that to Shimonita went full comedy
Oh, full
the
blown,
whole time.
full blown comedy.
I mean, you could still have a story with this. Eventually, she gets round to the point where she
can
realizes this guy is
You
not.
can do everything without changing any of the pace, any of the story. You just make her Gaston. That's
Yeah,
it.
Just makes her
That's
more
it.
of a stronger, holier than thou character
Yeah.
who has high morals because of what's happened to her.
Just a very fucking.
But instead, they
target
push
set.
the love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there should. There's other girls in that show that would have been a
Chiho.
more natural and
Just
funny
Chiho.
Chiho.
love interest. Yeah, just one girl that's obsessed with him, even though
yeah.
he's the devil. That's
Yeah, yeah.
enough.
Just
like,
the one.
and even when they explain to her that he's the devil, just have her play it off. I'm like,
You can
yeah,
have her.
but have you seen his six pack?
You can
And just stupid shit like that would be funny.
you can have her completely sus of Emmy the whole way through, even
Yeah.
though it's clear that Emmy is not
Yeah,
interested
like,
in it
that's
at
right.
all.
That's there.
You
Don't
can-
change that.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just her. It's just the hero.
So, should we go into some ratings?
I also kind of like the idea. This might be a bit far off for you guys, but the hero's party starts to come through the gate eventually and just becomes part of her fucking shift. Joins her day shift while he's got his blooming devils as the night shift. And it's like basically they're all fucking working
Or
it.
you just have her work the other side of the street.
Oh yeah, having both
rival,
at
corp-
rival
yeah,
blooming
rival,
corporations.
yeah, rival fast food company. Yeah,
Now that would have been funny because you
and
then got
she's like, I'm going to stop him from rising to power by beating him there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sort of.
Now
thing.
that would have been funny.
Yeah.
Like you've got this whole thing where like she's like, I will kill him in the sales department.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ratings. What are we going to give it?
I'll go first. This
Yeah,
week,
go on.
actually,
Go on.
I'm gonna go for a 7.8.
It's lower than I thought you'd give it. I'll be honest with you.
It's fair because it interests me. Would I watch it again? Maybe
I
later.
didn't until obviously reviewing it.
But that's what I mean. Like maybe I would watch it again. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But again, I enjoyed it when I watched it.
It's got
So
a season 2, so
Yeah, and I would probably watch season 2.
I will watch season
That's
2.
what I mean. So it's not up there with the 8s and the 9s that I've watched again and would watch again.
Yeah, yeah.
But actually, it's still maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't.
Run of the mill, 5.5. There's comedy shows that are just drastically better than this.
No, that's
How
fair.
Not to Summon a Demon Lord, Space Dandy.
Tickles all types
Just-
of taste
They
buds.
they did comedy better than what this show did.
No, fair enough. Shimonita did it better.
Shimonita did it better. Another example of
Yeah.
it being done better.
Shimonita did do it better. Yeah,
but that's
we're
straight
avid
up comedy.
fans of Shimonita.
We
Just
are.
bring us season 2.
Even Keijo did it better comedy wise. And they
Yeah? Okay.
they stuck to their guns on what the show was.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
they
Keijo
knew
did
what that
do
was.
comedy better. Yeah, they knew what that was. We all knew what that was.
Sword in the ass.
We all loved it.
told me what that season 2 was going
We
to be.
riffed about
And he who pulls it out shall be king.
we riffed about being a spectator in that show.
Yeah.
So I would go with a 6.5 for me. I enjoy the show. I think it's just slightly better than average.
Yeah.
1.5 better than average.
Yeah.
But it's not quite up there as sort of rewatchability.
I don't
And
think it's got any for me. But
a draw of a real sort of theft plot. It just doesn't have that. What?
yeah.
You with the thought.
It does, you hit it right there. It's not that it's bad. It's that all the departments that it wants to hit have been done better.
Yes. Yeah. It has.
It's a good idea, just done.
It's
okay.
a fun watch, and if somebody said, "Should I watch this show?" I'd say, "Yeah, watch the show. See if you like it." But there are other ones that are funnier.
Yeah, that's the thing. You'd put this in a list of things that people should watch, but it
It'd
wouldn't
just be
be
at
top
the
of the
bottom
list.
of the list.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it would just be bottom.
I don't
of the
think
list.
it'd be bottom of the list. We've done some quite blooming.
Oh no,
rock
yeah, but
bottom
no,
of the
if
list.
you're
not in the
recommend, no,
comedies.
because you're not going to recommend fucking bottom
Shit.
of the like our real.
But if you
shit
had to
stuff.
go, here's 4 comedies.
Although
This is going to be number 4.
you should watch High School of the Dead because it's funny.
Yeah, it is.
So, The Devil is a Part-Timer gets the Summoning Boys 6.6 out of 10. All you summoners can join us next time where we review another Ghibli movie, Castle in the Sky.
Is it not time for us to chop off?
It is time for us to chuff off.
You just didn't say it.
Go
It
again.
made me upset.
Go again.
It's time for us to chuff off. If you've got any questions or queries, or just want to see what we're up to, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at How Not to Summon, or join our Discord at How Not to Summon a Podcast, or go to our website at hownottosummon.com where you can find all our links. I've been Shinny Senpai.
I've been Jim.
I've been Grayson.
See you later.
See ya.
Sarah.